This is the Tokyo Butter 23 Sneaker Channel. Tokyo Butter 23 Sneaker Channel です。毎日アップするので毎日見てください. Every single day I'm bringing you content about sneakers, upcoming sneaker releases, and sneaker reviews. And today we're having a look at a 3-pack of Adidas sneakers. And we're asking the question, are these things going to be massively hyped or are they going to be an absolute dud? The sneakers in question is a 3-pack, and it's a collaboration with Keith Haring, who's a graphic designer now, but he used to be a graffiti artist that came out of the sort of 1980s, 1990s graffiti scene in New York City, and he's really popular. You must have seen, I'll put up a screenshot up here, you must have seen some of his graphics and his images before, and he has done a collaboration with the Adidas line, a Stan Smith, a Rivalry High, and a Niza High, 3 different sneakers, and we're looking at that today, and we're asking if these guys are going to be hype or they're going to be duds. As I said in the introduction, today is all about those 3 Adidas sneakers that are collaborating with Keith Haring, the graphic designer or artist or graffiti artist or whatever you want to call him, out of New York City. And the collaboration there with those 3 sneakers, the Stan Smiths, the Rivalry Highs and the Niza Highs, all 3 of the sneakers very unique. They very much have the sort of Keith Haring design on them, so they're very easy to sort of see that they belong to him and they're part of a collaboration with him. But are they going to be hype or are they going to be duds? I'll tell you my opinion. You can tell me your opinion in the comments down below. But before we get into that, of course, please do hit the subscribe button down below. Do comment, do like, and do share these videos. It does help tremendously. And as I am here in Japan, I do sometimes slip into Japanese and say things like 登録お願いします。いいねも押してください。その登録もいいねもコメントもするとチャンネルの助かるので、それをね、YouTube がさ、そういうことを読めるので、ビデオをアップするためにいいね、コメント、登録すると助かりますので。So yeah, I do slip into Japanese a little bit like that sometimes, but not very much. Maybe I should do it more often, maybe not, who knows. But for now, let's get into these sneakers and have a look at each of the 3. Now, the first one we're going to look at is the Stan Smith. And I chose to put this one up first because it's very discreet and it's very, very simple. As Stan Smiths tend to be, there's not much of a sort of a kind of banging design on it with this one with the Keith Haring kind of tie up in there. It's obvious from the screenshot, you can see very clearly on the toe box there, you've got that one splash of major design, but that really is the only place that really pops out with his kind of design and his kind of feature on this sneaker. There are a couple of other more discreet places. If you look at the tongue tag on there, you can see a caricature of Keith Haring himself. And then if you have a look on the inside, there's a real pop, a real smash of color on the insole in there as well. And then coming a bit further back, the coloring that's on the tongue tag with that caricature of Keith Haring, the orange there is also sort of then duplicated again on the back of the sneaker. But that's really it. It's just that one hit of design. It is the classic sort of Keith Haring design, admittedly, on the toe box, but that's really the main feature of the Stan Smith in this 3-set collection. But then moving on to the next one, the Rivalry Highs, it's the total opposite. I'm going from one end of the spectrum to the other, from the sort of discreet and the subtle to the absolute in-your-face banging. It's like the entire sneaker is just one big canvas for Keith Haring to work on. And it's hard to look at and decide where the sort of significant features are. But I'll pull out a couple of them. One of them is the 3-stripe branding on either side there. You've got in that sort of blue and orange colorway. Again, the orange that was featured on the Stan Smith earlier is carried through onto these Rivalry Highs. So that orange and blue on the 3-stripe branding, which is also then on the midsole and also on the ankle. There's a hit of the orange on the ankle and the blue on the midsole as well. It kind of brings those colors out again. But the main feature for me, I mean, obviously the main feature is that upper with those designs on it, but when you get inside the sneaker, the lining of the sneaker is absolutely popping and absolutely banging. And one of my favorite things about it is the tongue tag, because it doesn't have the caricature of Keith Haring on the front, it has it on the back, just sort of tucked on the inside. It's one of my favorite things in a sneaker, is to see a sort of hidden piece of content or a hidden feature tucked on the inside like that. So a real cracking looking sneaker. The back of that tongue there, as I was saying, it's more the back of the tongue than the lining that's got that popping sort of color in there. But when you get to the next one, the Niza High, that's the main feature of that, is inside the sneaker is where the popping is and the color is and the design is. And the Niza High to me is sort of halfway between the Rivalry High and the Stan Smiths, because you've got that kind of subtle outer white with the one sort of feature of that kind of snake on the back, on the heel this time, or the ankle, the ankle area of the sneaker, whereas the front of the sneaker isn't really all that popping, but on the back this time. But then when you get inside, and it's really it's just a great feature. Of the three, it's my favorite sneaker of the three. And the way the lining kind of, all the way on the inside, and it kind of runs into the lacing system. And that to me is one of the greatest points in this sneaker. One of my favorite things about it is that lining that covers not just the actual inside of the sneaker where your foot goes sort of thing, but actually all the way down and into the lacing system on there as well. And also a second favourite feature of the Niza highs is the outsole, the absolutely pop-in outsole. The Stan Smiths have kind of a dull, simple outsole. Then the Rivalry highs have a bit more of a complicated one, a bit more colour, but still a standard outsole. And then pop, the Niza highs have a really cracking outsole, and I really appreciate very, very much. Okay, so that's my review today of the 3 upcoming Keith Haring collaborations with Adidas. And the question I asked at the top of the video is whether these guys are going to be hot and hyped and people are going to be after them, or if people are just going to be like, no, this isn't working for me. I think the Beavis and Buttheads was one recently that didn't really go well and didn't sell well. I think I've seen that actually in the sales, if I remember rightly. So that didn't go very, very well. But I actually think this collaboration could be a really big one. I think people could really get on board with it. I think the tie-up of Keith Haring and the Adidas brand, it's a good point for both of them. And I think collectively, the sum of those two things is going to be bigger than its parts. So I really do think it's going to be a cracking sneaker and maybe one to get a hold of. And maybe the kind of sneaker that people will hold on, or the kind of sneakers that people will hold on to and keep in their collection for quite a while. So yeah, I think these guys are going to be hot. I like them very much. I especially like those Niza highs. Like I said, I've got a thing right now for blazers and Niza highs. The Nike Blazer and the Niza high to me are very similar sneakers. I've got a bit of a thing for it now for those guys. So okay, that's me done for the day. For Monday, the first day of the week, it's great to have content brought to you guys and to bring you 3 sneakers instead of just 1. Tomorrow I'm home to bring you a video from Narita International Airport because my mum is arriving and she's going to be staying in Japan for the summer with me. Hopefully that won't interrupt my content, and hopefully I will be able to get some video footage from the Narita International Airport to show you guys tomorrow. If I don't, I'll just pop in a different video on the Tuesday top 10. So please do come by tomorrow to see what an amazing airport looks like. People talk about Japanese airports all over the world for how amazing they are, how smoothly run they are, and how easy they are to navigate compared to other airports with massive lines and huge queues and things like that. So if you're interested, stick around for that. If you're not, come back on Wednesday when I'll be hitting you up with another sneaker, as I do every single day. For now, it's time for me to sign off and do what I do at the end of every single video, which is point you with my left hand and say I will see you tomorrow.